looks like death when it's like that.
No camera.
No camera.
No camera.
Too bloody late. Right. A little lesson in the currents on the west side of Greenland. So what we're doing, well, actually the current, that's the Mid-Atlantic current. The current goes up there, past Iceland and around back around here. But where we are, which is just here, you have the West Greenland current that comes up. Now that takes, where we were at Disco Bay, that takes all the icebergs up this way. But it also keeps it fairly free of sea ice most of the year. But as what we're doing, we're just about here, somewhere here, in just slightly north Disco Island now. And we'll be motoring up. We're catching about a knot, an extra knot going with the current. And there's not much wind, and there's a northerly wind at the moment. So we're going to travel north. Sometime tomorrow, we'll then cut across Baffin Bay towards Pond Inlet on Baffin Island. And that, because that's coming down from the north, that brings all the icebergs down. So we'd have been battling against the current and an awful lot of icebergs. So going north and then coming across avoids icebergs. So I think it's quite a few days. Guys, how many days is it to cross? How long will it take us to get to Pond Inlet? Come on.
Only God knows.
But you are God, aren't you?
But David defeated the lion with a sling and a stone.
That was a hero.
I think it will take us.
Are you a peacock? So, have we got an answer to it? 4 days.
4 or 5 days.
Right. He's been serious now, 4 or 5 days. Right, let's get this book in the right place. Here we are. And in focus, and on the right page, and the right angle. 4 or 5 days to get to Pond Inlet there. And we might see more wildlife there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
More icebergs again.
The region there is the last bit where we will see icebergs.
Yeah.
Or
then-
last, yeah.
Well, we won't see hardly as many
As
further
over
on.
here. No,
No.
because this is the second biggest calving glacier in the world after Antarctica.
Oh right, so this area.
This area right here.
Right. So, folks, if you want to go see more icebergs, go to Antarctica. But there ain't many out there at the moment.
No. No, that's good.
It's a bit boring. But we will find more pack ice.
We will find an awful lot of pack ice.
Ah.
We probably find too much pack ice.
Too much pack ice.
Yes.
Okay. So that's not, pack ice is not so good for whiskey.
No.
No. They're a bit salty.
Probably.
We better get some stocks. Nice fresh bread for the morning. Just been brought out to cool down. My favourite is this one. It's full of nice grains. It's cold, sunny. At least it's sunny. And we've got 45 minutes until breakfast. And our watch is over. So we ain't seen very much. Some fulmars, they're always with us, flying around. A few guillemots. But there's been quite a few little hawks. And they quite like it in open sea. And one turn. There's not been very many, well, we haven't seen any whales in Ilias. So, Son,
Yeah.
you're doing a very important job.
It's a dream
Or are you just a vagrant?
I'm cleaning the garbage because we can't throw anything overboard. We're going to keep it for a very long time.
2 months?
Yep. Or if we stop in the harbour and we can drop it over there.
Yeah. So what we got to do is clean all the plastic.
Yeah, all the food residue.
Yeah, all the residue, so it doesn't so it can be stored and it won't smell and
Yeah.
go fetid. So
3 days, 15 people.
really, well, that's not too bad, is it?
No.
I mean, when you consider the amount of litter that ends up on the beaches.
Yep.
A day.
Yeah.
A hat a day.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 45 hats. Is that right?
I'm busy on a sweater.
Oh, a sweater. How many days for a sweater?
How many weeks?
Weeks.
What? My first one, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll come back and we'll see how it progresses.
That's good. That's good.
Did a loop,
Holding the rudder.
He did a loop, the compass went mental.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was going around and around and around. He wasn't paying it. Well, anyway, we went in a big circle. You could
He
see-
went in a circle. He got really panicked.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's happening to my compass course? And it's what do you call it? The rose? Is it the rose of the compass?
Yeah.
In
yeah.
English too.
Compass. Yeah.
Went all over the place. So he
Around.
wasn't able anymore to use the course that was indicated by the compass.
So he went around a circle.
He went in the circle and he got like, what's?
Well, so what was going on? God, Hester knows everything about what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
There to go over to Hester.
So there's the compass rose.
Yeah.
So there's a difference in the location of the geographical North Pole, which
Yeah.
is the
Yeah,
North
let me
Pole,
look up the picture.
and the magnetic North Pole. And the magnetic North Pole is also moving around.
Yeah.
So the angle between where you are, if you view the one pole and the other one, there's an angle between that. And
Yeah.
when you're a mariner, you call that angle variation. When you're a geographer, you call it declination.
Yeah.
So we knew that. So we're taking that into account. So when you hear the true bearing, it's a different angle than what you're following on the compass. But what we're having here, we're really close to the North Pole, and the fields, the magnetic field is actually going into the Earth rather than parallel to the Earth. So your compass is trying to that needle is trying to go into
And we're
the Earth.
going to the centre of the Earth.
We're going, yeah. Maybe.
See, Jules, follow Jules Verne.
Yeah.
So we are right in that zone where your compass is actually not responding in the way that it should be. So there's this whole zone here. We're actually like sailing right
We're
here
right in
from
the
Disco
yellow.
Islands
We're just
right
entering
there.
the yellow zone now,
We
aren't we?
just sailed like through that yellow zone,
Just
and
entering the
we're
yellow
gonna
zone.
land over here. So the brown and yellow are where compass is pretty useless tool for navigation.
Here
Right,
we go.
And that's because the compass field is trying to pull that needle into the Earth rather than parallel.
So,
And then on top of that, you also have the ship being metal. So this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
every compass on every single ship
There's a
has a
deviation.
different deviation, and
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
mostly on steel ships
Yeah.
or iron ships that
Yeah.
can be quite large, and it can change over time. So and that also, because the magnetic field here, we have northern lights, because that's also the interaction between the incoming solar particles, charged particles, ions, and the magnetic field. Right? So,
Let me see. Can you read it like
from
1600 here?
1700s, yeah.
Now we are sort of here. And it moves first south and up north again.
so the question really is, when's it going to flip?
A while ago, this was maybe 10 years ago, there was like a newspaper article that suddenly said the magnetic field can flip within a lifetime, and people were reading it as if the magnetic North Pole could flip within their lifetime, which is different. So when it flips, it can flip within like 100 years, or maybe
Yeah.
50 to 100 years. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen in the next 50 or 100 years. So what we're thinking, it's going to take another couple of thousand years before that actually happens.
Oh, right.
But
Yeah.
when it happens, it can happen at the
Swiftly,
speed of
yes.
a lifetime, right?
Right.
Why
But
would
suddenly
it-
there was a panic, like within our lifetime it's going to flip.
Oh, right, so then it will just start travelling south.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would it? Why would it happen? Can you explain why? I mean, I really don't know.
It's you need to go to the core. So the the core of the Earth
The
has
liquid core.
yeah, has like a solid iron center and then a liquid part around
Okay.
it. And
Right.
there's
Oh,
movement.
right, so it's
movement
solid in the centre but liquid on the outside.
liquid on the outside. And if you have then like metal on metal, it becomes
Generates.
a coil.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, like
magnetic-
electrical coil.
Electrical coil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creating.
So why is the centre solid when it should be superheated?
Well, it's a density.
Huh?
too. It's a density, right? It's
It's really
very
dense.
high density. Yeah.
Right, so it becomes solid because it becomes denser and denser and denser and denser.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So that's slower probably. The core of the Earth, the ball, let's say, is slower in rotating probably than the outside of the
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah. So there's friction.
It's like
between
friction
it.
in between.
Exactly.
So it's almost like a motor,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
basically.
It's like a motor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only planets that have magnetic fields are those that actually have a solid and a liquid core,
Mm.
right? So there's
Okay.
gas planets that don't actually have a magnetic
No,
field.
sure, no. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
And the magnetic field protects us, right, from the solar radiation. Like we
Does
would
Mars
be dead.
have a...
It does actually.
It
yeah.
does?
Yeah. A weak magnetic field.
Oh, is it
yeah.
only a week?
Map of the diary of the whalers of 1710.
What's that, 1741?
1710.
1710?
Mhm.
So by then they could tell where the latitude was,
Yeah.
but they
because-
didn't know where the longitude was.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Yes.
So they just do go by the land.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they'd do a course, but the course was the magnetic
yeah.
course. So
Yeah.
I had to like adjust that for the deviation, or actually variation, I should say. So magnetic declination. I corrected that when I actually reconstructed that map, right? Because now we know what it was. You can actually go back in time too.
Yeah.
So there's models where I looked at the
showing.
map from 1710. It's like
Yeah.
what was their variation? 'Cause
At the
it's
time.
completely different
Yeah,
than
yeah.
we are. At that point in East Greenland, it was 30 degrees, and right now it's a lot less.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, you
you
see
guys
this,
have
this
to
North
adjust.
Pole moving over. Yeah.
Yeah, so on again, like I've drawn a salmon on here because I haven't caught one yet.
Simon didn't call one.
No, I haven't caught one. I will.
You'll catch one in Alaska.
Was it 4 o'clock in the morning and I have to drink tea because I'm not allowed to drink coffee
For a good reason.
for a good reason. And we haven't introduced people. Look, this is Peter.
Hello,
Where's he come
I'm
from?
Peter.
I forgot, Holland.
Yeah,
He's from Holland.
Juliana.
Juliana, because I forget names. This is Juliana from Guildford.
Hi.
This is, I don't know, some bloody bloke we picked up from the south.
Yeah.
His name's
Star
Bob.
away.
Rob.
Yeah. Good culprit stock.
This is Son. And he's from, well, you're actually not from Holland, are you?
No.
Belgium. You're Belgium.
Antwerp.
Yeah. Antwerp.
Antwerp. Well, do you know what my name?